Journalist claims Liverpool can still act for the incredible player this month. The Reds currently have 6 players whose contracts expire this summer, 4 of whom play at the centre of the park. According to transfer guru Fabrizio Romano, Liverpool is keen to sign Nunes next summer and had already been discussed to sign for Anfield before signing to Wolves last summer. The Italian journalist also noted that the 24-year-old is not seen as an alternative to Jude Bellingham, but his arrival in Merseyside could push either Naby Keita or Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain out the door. Romano also recently said that the Reds have a very good relationship with Nunes manager at Jorge Mendes, which could increase his chances of moving to the Reds. Taylor thinks if Liverpool make a move for one of their midfield goals this month, he'll go to Nunes. Journalist Ryan Taylor said that Liverpool could take action this month for Wolves midfielder Matheus Nunes after allegations in January that a deal was impossible. Jürgen Klopp was once again disappointed as they scored a goalless draw against Chelsea at Anfield. Liverpool are facing a tough challenge to qualify for the Champions League this season and are currently 10 points behind. One of Klopp's biggest challenges this season is finding the right balance in midfield, where both Fabinho and Jordan Henderson are battling for form. The German boss played young Stefan Bajcetic alongside Naby Keita and Thiago against Chelsea. But there's no doubt that the middle of the park has become a noticeable weakness for Klopp's side this season, and no reinforcements have yet been made for the position this month. The Reds were heavily linked to a move after missing the Portuguese midfielder in the summer. While it was claimed earlier this month that it was difficult for Liverpool to attract him to Anfield before the window closed due to his latest move to Molineux, things may have changed. Liverpool are reportedly about to take their chances as Wolves move towards signing their second midfielder this month. I think Matheus Nunes is the likely candidate for Liverpool. Wolves are likely to sign João Gomes after the arrival of Mario Lemina, while the midfield rotation is now very inflated. This could be an advantage for Liverpool, said Taylor. Of course, Liverpool was touted as a possible target for Borussia Dortmund star Jude Bellingham ahead of the summer. But Klopp is well aware that for them to have a chance to remove the 19-year-old, they probably need to qualify for the Champions League. For that to happen, there is a feeling that the German manager needs to add at least one player to their midfield this month. Nunes has been described as an incredible talent and is clearly a long-term Liverpool target. The midfielder, who played 11 matches for the Portugal national team, scored 1 goal. He also made 21 appearances for the Wolves and had 1 assist. Compared to his positional peers, Nunes is in the top 5% of the top 17% midfielders with progressive passes 4.1 in the Champions League and Europa League, as well as in Europe's 5 major leagues, and 2.2 opponents' touchdowns per 90 minutes over the last 365 days. It will be interesting to see if the Wolves' stance ever changes, especially as they look ready to bring in João Gomes before the window closes. Liverpool got the answer to the Thiago 2024 contract dilemma as Jürgen Klopp could plan a new role. While the focus at Liverpool is on the futures of Roberto Firmino, James Milner, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Naby Keita as they approach the final 6 months of their deal, there are a few more difficult contract dilemmas on the horizon. The first is Joel Matip, who will be around 33 years old when his term expires. Matip has shown himself to be an outstanding player under Jürgen Klopp, but has also been one of the most injury-prone players on the Liverpool squad. And it's a similar story with Thiago, whose contract will expire in the summer of 2024. On the one hand, he has established himself as a world-class, arguably one of the best players in his position and has proven to be a useful recruit for the club. But on the other hand, she's getting old and will turn 32 in April. He's also a player who often misses long action times. With a weekly salary of $247,000, he is the 3rd highest paid person in the club after Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk. So we can see why Liverpool might be hesitant. A new incentive is now emerging to extend the Spanish player's stay. Thiago can be a mentor to almost any player on the Liverpool squad, as he has 11 domestic league titles and 2 Champions League trophies under his belt. He is therefore a useful role model for the youngest midfielders, especially his young compatriot Stefan Bajcetic. We see how established stars such as Firmino, Van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold can guide young people like Cody Gakpo, Ibrahima Konate and Calvin Ramsey, and that dynamic may be about to repeat itself here. Brian Lowe, manager of Championship club Preston North End, who is a big fan of Bajcetic, gave some insight into how this could work after a 1-0 FA Cup win against the Wolves in the middle of the week. He stands out with his awareness when the ball comes to him. He knows where to pass the ball before it gets to him. He also plays with one of the best midfielders in the world. Thiago is there, he said. Klopp also explained how the master helped his apprentice. The last few steps before he has to block the ball are really good. I think having Thiago by his side helps a lot, said the 18-year-old. We can see tangible evidence that Bajcetic learned something from Thiago. The former Bayern and Barcelona player is a famous crawl master who creates a complete picture of those around him before the ball hits him. And Bajcetic can learn from him how he presses, especially the angle of his attack and when he prefers to slow down. They are currently playing slightly different roles. Bajcetic works as number 6 and Thiago as number 8, but there are basic skills common to both positions. The academy graduate looks like a different six-figure pattern from Fabinho and is more closely aligned with Thiago. Although Bajcetic is clearly a special talent in his own right, he definitely has the confidence to play alongside a vocal and expert leader. When it comes to contract renewals, the key is of course how a player performs on the pitch, but it's becoming increasingly clear that Liverpool also consider the importance of their presence. Thiago faces an uncertain future, especially as Liverpool seem intent on rebuilding their midfield, but keeping him could in a sense benefit the entire department, especially one of the club's potential next-generation stars at Bajcetic. If he truly proves crucial to his development, the club may be grateful to have him on the team. Steven Gerrard offered to fly to Jude Bellingham meeting to seal Liverpool transfer. Liverpool icon Steven Gerrard offered his services to his former club, claiming that he would fly to Germany and speak to Borussia Dortmund star Jude Bellingham to persuade him to move to Anfield. Gerrard tipped the youngsters to think about Liverpool even if they missed the top 4 places this year, and even offered to have a nice dinner in Dortmund to turn his head to the Anfield signing. I'm sure Jude Bellingham is bright enough to look at Liverpool, which has one of the top 5 managers in the world, Gerrard said. They are building a new booth, they have world-class facilities in Liverpool where I want Jude Bellingham. I'll fly to Dortmund and take him out for a nice dinner. I think it's important to stay in England to continue his growth and development, said. Gerrard admitted that Liverpool needed some more midfield players. I think the obvious right now is what Bellingham did in Dortmund after the World Cup. I'm a big fan of him. I think the way he talked about the game impressed me every time I saw him, Gerrard said.